It's Saggy time, my lovely fiery Sagittarius. I love fire. I love Sagittarius. I am Sagittarius rising. So let's see what March has for you, my lovely Saggies. Just a little note. I've already cleansed the space. I've already meditated, and I am told by Spirit that it's still the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So you have the pleasure of the most original traditional deck. Very, very intuitive to use, not so much with the fantasy deck that we were using before, but they do look beautiful. So Sagittarius, what needs to be eliminated for you? Okay, so we've got 5 of Wands. Okay, that's really Sagittarian energy, actually. Oh, Hanged Man, interesting. All right, so we've not had Hanged Man yet in March readings for all signs. So seven of Cups reversed. What was that? Something just tried to pop out and it kind of, oi, okay, now we're getting it. All right, this is a really sort of disjointed one for my lovely Sag. Right, so we have 2 major arcana. We have the Hanged Man, number 12, and we have the Empress, number 3 in the reverse. So I'm going to start with the Empress because I'm very, very familiar with what this means in the reverse. It's kind of like I don't know, it's one that I always remember, I guess, because I maybe resonate with it. So for my lovely Sagittarians, the Empress is major arcana number 3, yeah? So it's all about self-expression. And the Empress is an intuitive person, yeah? They gain their power and their authority from their inner feminine wisdom and intuition. It sort of makes me think of a Cancer, you know, ruled by the moon, very emotionally intuitive, very emotionally receptive. But in the reversed position, my lovely Sagittarius, this is telling you that, well, it's warning you that you could be burning out. It's the energy of like the mother who has picked up after everybody, helped with everybody's homework, gone to the school play, cooked everybody's dinner, and it's the end of the night and she's like, oh my God, I don't have anything left for myself. So Sagittarius, for March, I'm warning you to really put yourself first, really take time for the activities that you enjoy and that light you up, and the centering or prioritizing of your needs and your happiness is really key in March for Sagittarius, yeah? We've got the 8 of Swords. In fact, let me just carry on and do the major arcana at once together. So we've got the Hanged Man, which is 12. So when we have a 12, in numerology, we would add the 2 and the 1, and it would actually become a 3 energy. So you've got quite a bit of 3 energy in your March reading, Sagittarius. You've got the 3 here from the Empress, and you've got the 3 here from the Hanged Man. So when we see the 12, the hanged Man, it's all about letting go, yeah, and surrender, seeing things from a different perspective. You know, he's upside down, so he has to see things from a different perspective. And you know, when you're hung by the leg, you have to surrender, you have to let go. I mean, it would be foolish to continue to fight in the same way that you have been doing, because you're very, very much disarmed at this point. So it's telling my lovely Sagittarians to surrender to the situation, let go of the old patterns, the old attitudes, and see where that takes you. See what happens when you're not saying, well, I think this and I know this from my past experience. You know, see what happens when your world is turned upside down. You know, take that as a signal to see it from that angle, just to change your perspective. Take it as an opportunity to see things that you couldn't see the other way around, you know. It's suggesting like a suspension between past and future. So my lovely Saggies, it could be that this time, March, is teaching you like the patience that you're going to need in whatever's coming in for you in life. So yeah, the Hanged Man's kind of like this I always think about it of the as the transition in birth work. As some of you know, I'm a birth worker, so this to me often makes me think about transition. It's that pause, or sometimes it's not a pause. Not everybody experiences a pause, but like that idea of you've got to the point of no return almost. So now you do just have to tough it out, hang it out until the end. So yeah, that would be my advice, my lovely Saggies. Just take a pause, reflect, and just go with it, because that's all you can do. It's not going to serve you to buck and react and try to get your way. You're hanging up by your feet. So just don't waste your energy. Lovely. So those are your 2 major arcana, and then we've got Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and 8 of Swords. So quite a mix of everything. You've got Swords, Wands, and Pentacles and Cups in your reading. So very mixed bag. So 7 of Cups is a really interesting card, and you've got it in the reverse position here. So 7 of Cups, we think about cups as, what we can contain and our emotions. So when we see 7 cups, it's like you are capable of more, and you're maybe settling for 7 cups because, it's not bad. It's neither here nor there. It's not no cups, and it's not, the King of Cups. So it's this idea, my lovely Saggies, of like, are you selling yourself short, or is this like a smart interim step towards what you are really going for? So just beware of that in March, Saggy. Like, are you selling yourself short? Are you being taken advantage of in some sense emotionally? Are you have you spent too long in this position? It's all fine if you are taking this interim role and you've said, 3 months here and then I'll go on to better. But if you've said 3 months here and it's now 9 months later or a year later, then we have to start reevaluating. My lovely Sag. So 5 of Wands is really cool as well. So the 5 of Wands is about so Wands is your fire sign. So that is your Saggy and your Leo and your Aries. So if you've got a lot of fire in your chart and you're a Saggy and you've got this 5 of Wands in your reading, it's indicating to me that your work life balance could be a little off. When we get Wands, it's all about like commerce and expansion, personal power. It's sort of often about going out there into the world and being active, and it's sort of often describing career related issues. So when we're seeing the 5 of Wands in a Sagittarian reading, which is also fire, it's suggesting to me like you might be too competitive. So you might be burning yourself out just to say that you are on top or number one, and it's like, yeah, okay, but that's great, but at what cost? Was it actually worth it? Because if you've fought to the top but you're absolutely knackered and can't enjoy being there, then how is that a win? It indicates power struggles, ego battles, disagreements, and conflict and confusion. So it can sometimes indicate there's like different philosophies or personalities, and that's causing discontent. You're not seeing eye to eye. You're not able to come to a compromise that suits both. It can also be about defending what's yours, fighting to keep what's yours. So my lovely Saggies, you might find that you're going through some like inheritance issues with other family members who think that they're entitled to what you have, or they're kind of querying the will perhaps in March, or querying the designation. So just watch out for that. And with the 5 of Wands, it's the advice is that actually sometimes this all lacks genuine importance. It's just egoic frittering away and wanting to be right. So sometimes it indicates just say yeah, just agree then. If you don't actually lose anything tangible by just giving in to the other person and saying, oh, do you know what? Yeah, you're right. Sometimes that's the simplest, smartest way to deal with when we see the Five of Wands, because unless it's something you really need to fight over and win, then just let it go and just let them feel that they've won, because you're not going to get what you want out of it a lot of the time. Queen of Pentacles and Eight of Swords. So eights are all about mastery and mystic, like wisdom and dreams and intuition. Yeah. So when we see the Eight of Swords, it's about, well, I mean, look at this card. It's quite descriptive, this one. That's why I like this deck so much. So the person is blindfolded. So it's about not being quite in the strongest of positions in a sort of mental debate. The Eight of Swords, yeah. The challenge with the swords is to like you're bound and blindfolded, but you have 8 swords, yeah. So it's about looking at the situation for how it really is. You know, it's not a great situation, but there's opportunity, there's potential. So the Eight of Swords, my lovely Sag, is telling you, like, play the hand that you have, not the hand that you wish you had, and act in the small, sort of annoyingly insignificant ways that you can, because they are the only ways that you have. You know, it's that idea that Jordan Peterson's talking about, like, you clean your bedroom. This idea, I don't know if you've read his book, the 12 Rules for Life. It's this idea of like cleaning your bedroom, and people going, oh well, that's nothing, that's pathetic. If that's what your advice to people is, then that's silly. But if you're living in your mum's basement and you don't clean your bedroom, and you don't wake up till 12, and you don't cook for yourself, and you don't have a job, then to clean your bedroom every day is actually a huge step, and it's what you can do within this situation, this dire situation that you're in. Yeah, so it's like, don't be unrealistic about your position. Yeah, my lovely Saggies. I feel like that's quite down on Sag, so let's see if the Queen of Pentacles can illuminate any further and give us a bit more insight and maybe some joy. I mean, it's not all bad. You've got the Empress, you've got the Five of Wands, so yeah, it's not all bad by any means. But the Queen of Pentacles, my lovely Sag, is telling me it's all about comfort and security and wealth, generosity, fertility. It's also sometimes indicating like managerial skills and managerial ability. So this is telling me that March, you can have a real financial gain. Yeah, you can be financially savvy in March, and you can use the things in your material world to gain, to build on successes that you have. You know, money and resources aren't going to be hard to come by in this month. Yeah, it tells me that you're at home in your body, and you know, you're enjoying the creature comforts. So yeah, that's really important for Sagittarians in March. And yeah, that's your reading. Thanks so much for coming. Pop your comments down below and I will read and respond.